Now on Nightside, flash flooding hit the town of Lewiston so hard, one woman says she had to swim through her own apartment just to rescue her pets.
Most of the thunderstorms have dwindled. I'll let you know if they'll be back to impact your weekend plans.
How much you get to know about the case against Moscow murder suspect Brian Koberger rests in the hands of one Idaho judge. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Heavy rain in Lewiston turned into quite the nightmare for people. Some people were telling us that they had to really deal with inches of rain. And one woman even says she had to swim through her apartment.
Foot underwater, I'm only 5'4", so it was kind of like a Titanic scene.
Lewiston got so much rain this afternoon, it started that flash flood.
And then, just like that, the storm was over. New on Nightside, Aranya Kaur reports.
Aaron, Kirsten, while the streets are clear now, just a few hours ago they were filled with water. This car giving an indication of just how high that water was. For the people I spoke to tonight, they say it's been years since they've seen flooding like this. Now the perfect puddle to splash in. This afternoon, water flooded the Wayback Cafe parking lot.
Within probably 10 minutes, it was starting to fill the parking lot, and then we were starting to get water coming down from anything higher ground than the restaurant.
Because of where she lives, Jade Bell had several feet of water in her apartment.
3-4 minutes, place was 4 foot underwater. So all I could think was to get the dogs, the cats, and my previous dog, his remains, out of there. That is the only time I had.
Everything else, she says, is flooded.
A little shooken up and sad, because I do have an upcoming wedding, and some of my wedding stuff, as far as the bouquet and my wedding boots, are being soaked.
By the evening, Lewiston was business as usual.
Everything looks so dry. Yeah, it's just insane to think that my apartment was 5 foot underwater.
The Wayback Cafe back open for customers.
A little rain doesn't scare us.
In Lewiston, Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
That's amazing. Official rainfall total for Lewiston, by the way, was less than 7/10 of an inch, not even 3/4 of an inch, but it is prone to flooding because of the geography around that. It's been dry there for hours now. The focus of our thunderstorms has shifted well to the north. Heard from friends on Priest Lake that they were watching the storms there. We'll zoom in a little bit and see. We're now really just talking about Boundary County, a little bit over in Libby, and a few isolated spots as we head into the northeast mountains, including around Inchaleam. Here's our forecast radar. Starting off at our current time, those storms move off to the north, and we look to the south. Here's 5 a.m. for a few additional showers starting to develop tomorrow morning. Wouldn't rule out some brief rain around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene early. Now here's 1 o'clock that we're dry. We're going to see some sunshine. May start to see some instability redeveloping for isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon, but most likely just a few sprinkles in the morning. We're heading up to a high of 76, 72 is our average high. I'll be back with the second half of your weekend forecast in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. And Idaho firefighters being called a hero tonight for rescuing a 91-year-old man whose car was sinking in a river. The JT Soar and a dozen other people stopped to help 91-year-old Clifford Parver, who was stuck in his car about 50 feet away from the bank. The Soar used his personal rafting equipment to pull Parver out of the vehicle, get him to shore safely. In the process, he lost about $250 worth of gear, a small price to pay for saving another man's life. The Idaho County Sheriff's Office says he'll get reimbursed.
A search and rescue mission for a man reported missing in Hayden is suspended because of this weather. Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says that Earl Wolfram was reported missing by family on Tuesday. They say sightings have been reported in the area of Hayden Creek, and that is where search and rescue, as well as Idaho disaster dogs, focused efforts until yesterday afternoon when the storm rolled in and it just became too dangerous to continue. This is Earl Wolfram, and family reported that he left Hayden Indian Canyon Storage on Government Way Saturday afternoon on his orange dirt bike. He has not been seen or heard from since. The sheriff's office says they don't have any indication Wolfram was in danger when he disappeared, but as you know, it's nearly been a week since anyone has seen him. So if you know where he is, call the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office.
In the U of I murder case, the judge has not yet determined how much you get to see and know about the case against Brian Kohberger. And there were two pivotal hearings in the murder cases today.
4 News Now is part of the group of journalism organizations asking for cameras to be allowed in the courtroom and also for the gag order preventing people involved in the case to talk about it publicly, have that be lifted. Those two hearings totaled more than 6 hours long. Brian Kohberger was in the room for both, wearing a suit jacket and tie. Kohberger's defense team arguing that the release of more information could distort public opinion and rob Kohberger of a fair trial.
What the media does with the videos, with the photographs, and how it's sort of manipulated in some way that is harmful.
The Media Coalition argued that misinformation would be eradicated if the facts were fully available.
Is the obligation of members of the media to get the story right.
Both decisions now lie in the hands of Judge John Judge. He made it clear that nothing would be declared today. Instead, he will release a written verdict in the coming days, something 4 News Now will be following closely.
Tragic update to a story we told you about earlier this week. We've learned that the famous Spokane mountaineer Dawes Eddy was found dead in a crevasse on Mount Rainier. Eddy was an experienced climber. At one point in the time, he was the oldest man to ever climb Mount Everest. The Pierce County Medical Examiner has not released the cause of death. He was 80 years old.
A judge now says a local youth alcohol and substance abuse facility must comply with Department of Health orders to shut down. Last month, the Washington Department of Health suspended Daybreak Youth Services licenses. Today, a Thurston County Superior Judge heard from both sides and decided to reinstate a temporary restraining order against Daybreak. Another court hearing is scheduled for next Thursday. We did reach out to Daybreak's attorney to ask if the facility will defy the order and continue operating. That lawyer says he is evaluating the court's rulings from today and to quote, stay tuned.
And time for a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. The Washington State University Board of Regents approved to transfer $1.4 million to help cover the nearly $12 million athletic department budget deficit. The shortfall was caused in part by the Pac-12 and unexpected costs and lower enrollment numbers. The university said the money would not come from tuition or state funds, but from earned interest. The Regents also approved an $84 million athletics budget for 2024 and gave WSU President Kurt Schultz the green light to sign a new media rights deal with the Pac-12. Schultz says the media rights deal should be finalized in the next few weeks. And coming up in sports, what the university plans to do to cover that budget and where that money is coming from. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. Well, you're now looking at what was once Camp Hope. As of this morning, the last person living there moved on to stable housing, allowing the camp to finally close. It's been 18 months since the camp opened on washed-up property.
What started as a protest in front of City Hall turned into, at one point, the largest homeless encampment in the state of Washington, and now it's back to being just empty state-owned land. Camp Hope once held over 600 people. The last person living there moved out this morning. For a while, local businesses were taking a hard hit from crime they say was caused by people at the camp.
And hopefully it attracts customers we frankly lost years ago that were avoiding the neighborhood because of that camp, who wouldn't stop at my store to get gas because of the clientele that would be hanging out in front and asking for money. And I mean, there were so many elements that drove a lot of our regular customers away.
Starting next week, the fencing will come down that was around the camp. Security will remain on site to keep people off the property and connect them to necessary services. While the camp may be closed, we are still dealing with a housing crisis. Later this month, the regional authority will present their plan to address the growing homeless population in Spokane County. Be sure to download the 4 News Now app and turn on push notifications to get updates on the county's plan straight to your phone.
The Pride Parade and Festival kicks off at noon tomorrow. The event you can look forward to.
And a Florida family learns the deadly consequences of leaving a child in a hot car.
Hoop Fest kicks off here in Spokane in just 2 weeks. Why organizers still need your help to make it happen. That's next on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Charmin. The Floor Trader outlets splash into summer savings going on now. Click waterproof LVP flooring starting at just 99 cents. Laminate starting at only 85 cents. The Floor Trader summer savings.
Where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division at Francis.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
You know, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
The Floor Trader outlets splash into summer savings going on now. Click waterproof LVP flooring starting at just 99 cents. Laminate starting at only 85 cents. The Floor Trader summer savings.
Where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division at Francis. 4 News Now is brought to you by the Sweet Palace and Sapphire Jewelry in Phillipsburg, Montana.
Hey, thanks for staying up with Nightside. If you're looking for some last-minute plans this weekend, why not check out Spokane's Pride Festival?
The Pride Festival and parade kicks off at noon tomorrow. You'll want to get a good seat. The parade starts down Stevens, turns on Riverside, passes by the mall, end up marching into the parade festival at Riverfront Park. Did you get all that? There's a map on your screen. The festival will have 5 stages hosting performers, entertainers, vendors, and small businesses from around the Northwest. Tons of food trucks, 2 alcohol and beverage gardens, and separate areas for kids to burn off some energy and teens to hang out and do some fun activities. Get another look at all these events and check out the parade route on KXLY.com.
Well, Hoop Fest kicks off here in Spokane in just 2 weeks, and organizers still need your help to make it all happen. The iconic Spokane event is back this year and inching closer to normal after the pandemic. But as brackets are being made, leaders at Hoop Fest say they're still missing a key element to Hoop Fest: more volunteers. Executive Director Riley Stockton says they are hoping to have 50 to 60 more people sign up to be court monitors. He says you don't have to have any basketball experience to do it, just a desire to pitch in.
Court monitor is an essential position for us. Those are the people that are managing each of the courts. We want anybody in this community that wants to be a part of it to sign up and be a part of a really special event here in Spokane.
Right now, Stockton says Hoop Fest has just over 4,000 teams signed up for the tournament, which is 800 more than last year, but still down from pre-pandemic levels of about 6,000. Hoop Fest will also be welcoming a new age group. 1st and 2nd graders are going to be involved in the tournament, so even the smallest ballers have a chance to take part. If you want to sign up, you can head over to our website, KXLY.com.
Oh, that is going to be fun. We still have some thunderstorms on the radar right now up in Boundary County along the Canadian border. Starting to see those thunderstorms drift into Canada. Behind it, just some rain showers, a little bit of thunderstorm activity around Libby, and still the potential for some areas with heavier rain, but things have dried out considerably from earlier this afternoon. Few sprinkles headed toward the Lewiston area, but no sign of the heavy thunderstorms, the strong thunderstorms that we saw earlier today. In Spokane, the precipitation total not especially impressive, only 0.18 of an inch. We are running below average year to date. Isolated showers overnight, a slight chance of showers tomorrow with a high in the mid-70s. Here's our outlook. Only a 20% chance through the morning, and then that drops to 0 by tomorrow evening. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 50s. High temperatures tomorrow in the 70s. In your 7-day forecast, we're up to 82 with dry conditions on Sunday, 88 on Tuesday, a 20% chance of showers. That's late in the day. We have some cooler air coming in, 78 on Wednesday. We stay in the mid-70s through the end of the work week. I'm going to be back with your 8 to 14 day outlook in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. As the weather gets warmer, a reminder that leaving a child in a car for any amount of time can be deadly. Around 40 children die every year in the U.S. from heat stroke because they were left, forgotten, or trapped in a hot car.
If it's even for a minute, take your child with you. Do not leave anyone in a car, even if you're running an errand for 1 minute. It can happen very quickly.
The hotter it is, the quicker temperatures heat up in a car. It's dangerous for anyone, especially young children.
Air temperatures can rise about 3 to 5 times faster than adults. In addition, young babies and toddlers, they don't sweat as much, so they can't distribute that heat.
Safety experts say that rolling down windows or parking in the shade does little to lower the temperature.
Just a tragic story that is an example of what Aaron was just talking about. A 2-year-old girl in Florida died after deputies say her parents left her in their truck for more than 2 hours. A report from the sheriff's office says the family, including 3 older siblings, forgot the toddler in the truck after returning home from lunch. And it wasn't until they were about to leave the home nearly 3 hours later that they found the child strapped in her car seat and unresponsive. Her parents rushed her to the hospital, but it was too late. President of Kids and Car Safety, Janet Fennell, says it doesn't take long for a car's internal temperature to reach unsafe levels.
In the first 10 minutes, the vehicle temperature is going to spike as much as 20 degrees. So if you were 89, you're at 110 very quickly, and it only goes up from there. Now, when you get to 106 and 107 body temperature, that's fatal.
And this is the second child to die in a hot car in Florida in just 2 weeks.
Scams sent through text messaging are increasing, and they're costly. What you might want to think twice before opening that message. That's next on Nightside.
Later tonight on Nightline, unsealed the stunning details in the historic indictment of former President Trump, accused of putting the nation's security at risk, and online sleuths turning a criminal investigation into entertainment.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
At Fred Meyer, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
Hepatitis C? Don't just treat it, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Kickstart your summer in a new Toyota from Findlay Downtown Toyota.
and discover a better way to drive in America's favorite RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma and Tundra trucks. And if you're looking for a great deal on a certified used vehicle, Findlay has a large selection to choose from. Plus, every used vehicle sold comes with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty, making it the perfect time to visit Findlay Downtown Toyota today, so you can start your driving adventures tomorrow.
Entrepreneur, mom, and now model. Why a Spokane businesswoman is getting out of her comfort zone to redefine beauty for us all.
Whatever your ability is, you have a duty to go out there and make the most of it.
Watch Monday at 6 on Good Morning Northwest.
When you download the Fred Meyer app, you have easy access to savings every day and get personalized coupons sent straight to your phone. Save big today when you download the Fred Meyer app. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap and Associates.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. A reminder, think twice before you open that next text message.
The Federal Trade Commission says scams sent through text messaging are increasing and they are costly. An analysis from the FTC shows consumers have reported losing $330 million to text message scams last year, more than double what was reported in 2021. The agency says the median loss reported people was $1,000. Fake bank security alerts turned out to be the most common scam reported to the agency. Other common scams were messages claiming to offer a free gift, fake package delivery problems, phony job offers, and bogus Amazon security alerts. The FTC says you should never click on links or respond to those texts. More teenagers will make more money this summer. USA Today says teens are expected to make up to nearly 20% of summertime hires, and the national average wage for teens could top $14 an hour, up nearly 10%.
High temperatures today actually very close to average, despite the fact that we were in the clouds and showers most of the day. 71 in Spokane, 73 in Coeur d'Alene, stayed in the 60s in St. Mary's, Colville, Bonners Ferry, and Grand Coulee. 81 today in Lewiston. Here is our temperature trend over the next 7 days. The white line is our average high, which is starting to creep up into the mid-70s. We're going to be heading into the 80s starting on Sunday and continuing through Tuesday, then a little bit of a dip back down into the 70s. The Climate Prediction Center's outlook for the 8 to 14-day forecast, that's June 17th through the 23rd, does have us in that very light blue, indicating a chance of below average temperatures. I'm skeptical about that. Less skeptical about the chance of those continued afternoon thunderstorms. We're stuck in a weather pattern where throughout the Intermountain West, the Four Corners region, up into the Northwest, we're getting those afternoon thunderstorms almost every day. And it looks like that may continue for the next week or two. Pick of the night tonight. This is from Lynn O'Neill. Gorgeous things growing in her garden. I'm not sure what you call this. Maybe Aaron knows. He's our resident green thumb, but it is beautiful. Pretty pink flower, I would call it.
I don't know for sure. Maybe a columbine?
Oh, maybe so. Well, I know who will know. My friends on Facebook. I'm going to post this photo in a minute, and you can give us the answers.
Send us all your nice comments. Thank you. Well, getting to daycare and the doctor's office is hard enough on any given day, let alone during the pandemic, but it doesn't affect everyone equally. Researchers at Oklahoma State University found that childcare and kids' medical checkups for Black and multiracial, low socioeconomic and urban families were missed at the highest rates during the COVID-19 pandemic. Physically getting to the appointment wasn't the only problem. Families missed more telemedicine visits, too. It's another gap in accessing medical care.
Clues to solving mysterious long COVID cases could be in America's sewers. Scientists used wastewater samples to track community spread of the virus. In those samples, they have found dozens of unique strains and multiple mutations. The source of these mutated strains may be people who have been living with chronic and serious COVID-19 infections for years. Health officials do not believe these people pose a public health risk. Might still be a little early to break out the inner tubes and go floating down the Coeur d'Alene River.
Yeah, but in this week's Air for Adventure, we can kind of do it virtually. We're giving you a bird's eye view of one of the best tubing spots in Kootenai County. Let's go for a ride on the Air 4 drone over the North Fork near Kingston.
We're at Bumblebee Bridge on the Coeur d'Alene River, Kingston, Idaho. It's a great place out here to just enjoy the river and soak up some sun. It's our friend's birthday and he wants to go on a float, so we're out here floating from here down to Silver Bridge, just a nice relaxing float. Usually there's quite a bit of people up here. You go a little bit upriver, there's not as much. But yeah, it's just fun, having fun with friends.
It's a family day today, so we're gonna float it and we're gonna have a great time. Pristine, it's not too fast. It's kind of, shallow in some parts, which helps, especially because we have some kids. The most important thing is remember to park your car at the bottom so you can come back up. Key is to bring a cooler, hydrate, maybe some snacks. 100% be responsible. Yeah, be respectful with your garbage. That's the number one thing. You hate seeing people throw their beer cans in the grass. Be respectful, be kind to other people. We all want to enjoy this, keep being able to enjoy it.
A lot of people have a lot of fun on the river. We're one of the big floater takeouts for the people floating the river in the summertime. About a 3.5 mile stretch they'll put in up at Bumblebee Bridge and then float down to the campground and take out here. My brother and I bought this place just about a year ago, so we've been kind of developing it and building it out and trying to improve it since then. Family camping zone, basically, where people could float and have a good time. In my opinion, one of the most beautiful parts of Idaho, this river is just pristine and clear and just gorgeous.
Eastern Washington University has found its new athletics director. The changes you can expect coming up in sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ace Hardware.
Welcome to Generation Gap.
June 29th.
What is Secretariat?
A secretary that's a woman? The comedy game show where nobody acts their age is back. Juniors and seniors work together to flex their pop culture knowledge for big prizes and bigger fun.
Who is this Mr.?
Mr. Rockstar?
Mr. T is going to be very upset with all of us.
Generation Gap. Season premiere June 29th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Skelton's Carpet One is clearing out all in-stock inventory in our Don't Make Us Move the Inventory sale, going on now. Construction is underway at the all-new Floor Trader by Skelton's, and when it's done, all remaining in-stock inventory will move to the new building. So until it's gone, save 25% on all in-store carpet, LVP, and waterproof flooring. There's never been a better time to update your floors. It's the Don't Make Us Move the Inventory sale going on now at Skelton's, here to floor you.
Your Broadway wish is granted at Disney's Aladdin. Audiences and critics agree Aladdin is fabulous and extravagant. With unforgettable music and sensational dance numbers, it's exactly what you wish for. Get your tickets today and see for yourself the breathtaking spectacle that only Disney can deliver.
June 27th through July 2nd at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
The Tire Store for auto repairs, tires, and wheels. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASC certified, and you can start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
Well, the Washington State Athletic Department is getting some much-needed help. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenso. The Washington State University Board of Regents approved to transfer $1.4 million to help cover the nearly $12 million athletic department budget deficit. The deficit was caused in part by the Pac-12 and unexpected costs and lower enrollment numbers. The university said the money would not come from tuition or state funds, but from interest earned. The Regents also approved an $84 million athletics budget for 2024 and gave WSU President Kirk Schultz the green light to sign a new media rights deal with the Pac-12. Alex Crescenti joins us in the studio to give us more details on Washington State's plan to cover the deficit. Alex.
We've known for a long time the Pac-12 media rights deal wasn't the best among Power 5 conferences, and that's one of the big reasons Washington State finds themselves in this deficit, a classic case of overpromising and under-delivering. Another challenge facing the university is the rise of NIL. Athletic Director Pat Chun pointed out today many of their donors have the option to give to a collective that doesn't go to WSU, so paying for things like scholarships and other expenses has become more difficult in recent years. So what's the solution? Well, University President Kirk Schultz believes it's a combination of the expanded college football playoff payouts and the upcoming Pac-12 media rights deal.
At least the projections that Pat and I and others have seen, I'm not sure if it'll be a lot larger than we saw in the past. It shouldn't be a lot smaller than the past. It may be fairly flat. But when we add the football playoff dollars onto that, we should see a nice bump in revenue. So if we can control expenses, then all of a sudden you go, okay, now we actually have additional dollars coming in that can be strategically allocated, including debt reduction, building up a reserve fund, and some of those kind of things.
Schultz did add he expects a media rights deal to be completed sometime this month, but then again, we've heard those kind of words for a while now. But this is also a bit of a gamble for Washington State. If more programs depart the Pac-12, the conference could cease to exist, and the Cougs could be on the outside looking in when it comes to major college football, which is not good for a revenue stream. Julian, I'll send it back over to you.
All right, thanks, Alex. Now, Eastern Washington University has a new leader for the athletic department. The university has hired Tim Collins as its new athletic director. Collins serves as a senior associate athletics director at Fresno State. He's been overseeing 18 different sports programs at Fresno and will soon lead the department at Eastern that has 14 sports programs. Collins' first day on the job is July 15th. Game 4 of the NBA Finals was expected to be one of the more competitive games of the series. A win for the Denver Nuggets and they would be one step closer to their first championship. A win for the Miami Heat would even the series at 2 and change the momentum. Game 4 from Miami, and Miami got off to a good start in this game, which they haven't done in the other games in this series. Here's Jimmy Butler in the corner, buries the 3 at the buzzer. The Heat led by 1 after 1, but Denver has been carried by their all-stars all series long. But tonight it was about the unsung heroes. Aaron Gordon, mostly known for his defense, but throws down the alley-oop right there. Now here on the other end, Miami looking to answer. Bam Adebayo must have been mad at the rim as he slams it down with some authority. But Denver, they have just too many good options on offense. Pick your poison. Tonight it was Aaron Gordon with a 3-ball right here in the corner. Gordon led the way with 27 points. The Nuggets win Game 4. They lead the series 3-1, and Denver is now 1 win away from their first NBA title.
Just ready to win the championship. We have the tools to do it. It's been on our minds for a while, so we're just locked in. I don't think you got to overthink it. We're just dialed in, ready to win.
The Nuggets will look to close out the series in Game 5. That one is set for 5:30 on Monday, and you can watch it right here on 4 News Now. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Hey, did you lock in the ringer for the softball team yet? We really need to repeat as Kubota League champs.
Yeah, check this out. What's up? 56.
Is that Ben Gregg?
Yeah, he can hit, he can pitch, and he sold 3 tractors this morning.
Come to Adams Tractor and get your Kubota today. For new tractors, parts, and service, and with 5 locations, we are the Northwest's biggest and best Kubota dealer.
This is Dan. Dan is digging a tunnel. Dan really wants to attend the MLB All-Star Week at T-Mobile Park, so Dan is digging. Too bad no one told Dan about the $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery. Each purchase comes with a chance to win one of 14 MLB All-Star Week prize packages. But Dan doesn't know that, so Dan is digging. Good luck, Dan. You might want to hurry. Or go get a $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery.
ABC News, honored for excellence with 41 Emmy nominations, the most of any news organization anywhere. Thank you for making ABC News America's #1 news.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me so done with you, girl. I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Thank you, Facebook friends. Erin was right. It was a columbine.
I only knew that because my mom's growing some in her garden back in Colorado.
Pretty.
They are pretty. Have a good weekend.